Bugs and Goo, welcome to Alternative Protein. Kid Knightley via Off Guardian writes, sometimes it feels like writing for Off-G has fallen into a recognizable pattern the last 2 years, one that could be best summed up as ignoring the mostly fake stuff on the front pages and collating the real stuff on the back. Regular reminders that no matter who you vote for or which side wins what war, the overarching agenda is still out there, eating and growing like the blob or the thing. And while we'll be returning to talk about all of them, no doubt, until they eat anymore or will finally shut down, whichever happens fastest. But today we're talking about eating the bugs, not just the bugs though, goo as well. Everything, in fact, that academics and journalists have decided to group together under the umbrella term alternative protein, and headlines like this one from Sky News: are alternative proteins going mainstream? This multi-million-pound new project hopes so. This story is in response to the launch of the UK's new National Alternative Protein Innovation Centre, NAPIC, a £38 million research project co-founded with Imperial College London. Professor Karen Polizzi of the Imperial's brand new Bezos Center for Sustainable Protein, yes, that Bezos, describes the new initiative this way: transitioning to healthy, sustainable sources of protein is a pressing global challenge. The National Alternative Protein Innovation Center will help facilitate this transition by supporting researchers and industry in all parts of the process, from product design through to consumer acceptance. At Imperial, we'll focus on developing economic, sustainable processes for producing newly discovered alternative proteins on a large scale. The alternative proteins that are the focus of this research being edible proteins that are derived from sources other than animal agriculture, from plants such as cereals, legumes, tubers, and nuts, fungi such as mushrooms, algae such as seaweed, insects, proteins derived via lab-grown microbial cells or fermentation, and lab-grown meat. Like I said, bugs and goo. Oh, and some plants too. What exactly is the appeal of the bugs and the goo and plants as far as the overlords go? It's a complicated question with a multifaceted answer. Part of me thinks they just like to see ordinary people humiliate themselves in the "I think we could get them to brush their tongues" model, but that's just a theory. We can expound upon it another time. Outside of sadism and other psychosocial motivations, there's practical questions of profit and control. And as covered in recent pieces on genetically modified, gene-edited food, intellectual property laws play a role. An egg is an egg, beef is beef. You can't patent a cow or a chicken, and it's quite difficult to prevent people keeping their own animals. But when your product is a few thousand freeze-dried crickets ground into powder, including their eyes, intestines, and feces, mixed with chemical preservatives, thickeners, and artificial flavorings to mimic real meat, well, you can patent the hell out of that. That's part of the reason the edible insect market is expected to grow to 10 times its current size in the next decade. In one of those ever so timely coincidences, an announcement of the new research project has just happened to accompany a full court press on alternative protein propaganda. Last week, The Guardian ran a glossy advertisement interview with the CEO of Meatly, Meatle, the lab-grown meat company, where he claims cultivated meat is safer, kinder, and more sustainable. The very next day, The Guardian again reported on the new study that shockingly found plant-based meat alternatives are eco-friendlier and mostly healthier. 4 days ago, another new study found proteins extracted from peanut shells could be used to supplement animal proteins. Good Food magazine thinks eating mealworms can cure diabetes. Medical journals are publishing pieces investigating the health benefits of alternative proteins. MSN is reposting articles from the Metro headline, "Lab-grown meat is coming. Here's why you might have no choice but to eat it." And Yahoo Finance tells us why lab-grown meat is a win for the UK's investment industry. And it's not just the UK, obviously it never is. It's just like prices don't change at just one Walmart, and the menu does not change at just one McDonald's, because globalism is already a reality, and your national government is just a local branch of the multinational conglomerate. In the US, the University of California is being pretty straightforward. Good grub, why you should consider eating bugs. While Finland's Solent company, which makes bacteria pancakes out of air and sunlight, has been generally recognized as safe by the FDA, the next step, I suppose, would be being generally recognized as food. Australia's next superfood is hopa, a bag of powdered crickets. Next month, Melbourne will be paying host to All Protein 24, a conference for the promotion of alternative proteins. Last week, Singapore approved 16 different types of insects for human consumption. Singapore is also getting its own Sustainable Protein Research Center, again funded by huge donations from Jeff Bezos. The silver lining here is that despite all these efforts, there's a good possibility this will never work. Article after article highlights the problems of consumer acceptance or public enthusiasm, or similar phrases meaning the same thing. Most people don't want to eat bugs, hence the propaganda, I suppose. I want to close by pointing out the truly hilarious modern irony of the story. The same outlets that are happily promoting the fact that elites want us to eat bugs and goo are simultaneously calling it a crazy conspiracy theory. So we're quite literally in the age of doublethink. But never mind, we'll be okay as long as we keep refusing to eat the bugs or the goo. And this is authored by Kit Knightley via Off Guardian on Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.